Cameron Munster, a standout. Our Macca's player of the match, throw him the captaincy, the extra responsibility, and tell you what, Lockie, he thrived.
Well, he got himself involved, didn't he? I think that was the key to unlocking Munster. You know, whether he's trying to run the football or kick, you know, and just or an offload, just getting him involved, it creates that unpredictability about the attack for Queensland. And when you're given the leadership, and you actually, without a doubt, it spurs you on more, because obviously you're the one leading the team. You lead with your actions and you want to get involved and you want to inspire the team around you. And I thought he was outstanding tonight.
$2,000 from Macca's going to Cameron Munster's junior club, the North Knights. On the back of that, there just seems to be an air of inevitability coming to this match, Gus, that he would thrive in that position.
Well, that's why they gave him the captaincy. He was the logical choice for me because he was going to be out there for 80 minutes. Any other options would have had to be interchanged during the game. Cameron Munster took it upon himself. Look, he wasn't good in game one. None of the halves, none of the playmakers were. And it was brought on because New South Wales were so dominant in the forwards. Well, they couldn't have that excuse again. They had to get their hands on the ball. Thankfully, they were rated by a big penalty count and a lot of errors from New South Wales in the first half, so they had all the ball. Yep. But that way Munster could get himself into the game, Harry Grant could get himself into the game, and they started to rumble forward, and they did what they did to New South Wales. New South Wales brought that on themselves, poor discipline, poor ball control, poor kicking game, and really handed it to Queensland on a platter. The second half, under very difficult conditions, when Queensland couldn't get the ball and were under pressure the whole time, they were falling apart all over the place. I mean, for New South Wales to score 4 tries in that weather, in the second half under that sort of pressure, was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal performance. But like I said earlier, I think both sides go away really disappointed. Queensland will be happy with a win because they're in game 3 now. We're happy because we've got a decider. That's what the game wants and that's what the fans want. But I think both sides will be walking away thinking, crikey, we blew that.
What could have been?
Yeah.
One of the other standouts for Queensland, Harry Grant tonight, and he's with Alana.
Harry, it was nearly the one that got away.
Yeah, it nearly was. You know, it's an 80-minute game, and in the current game, there's so much momentum swings, and you know, we knew that was going to happen, but we probably didn't handle it the best. We probably didn't play the footy we wanted to play in the second half. But you know, what we did in that last 6 minutes was be gritty and dig deep. And you know, we've referenced our 1995 Maroons team, and you know, the defensive resilience they showed. So I hope, you know, if there's any of those boys sitting at home watching tonight, which I'm sure there was, they'd be proud of that effort.
Is that something when you're on the field that you remind one another of in those moments? Because there were some key moments where New South Wales really turned things around. Yeah, for sure it is. You know, any communication you can have when you're out on your feet there, just a little bit of encouragement and some reminders really helps. Yeah, so I think we did that. Obviously, it was very disappointing we let them in with a few tries, but they're a quality team. They're a class team, and they've got so much strike in their team with and without the ball, and they come up with some big plays. But yeah, pleasing we come away with it. In the first half though, being in the middle of the field, you had some payoff in and around that ruck area, but it was a completely different start from Queensland. It must have felt good to find your groove a little bit.
Yeah, it was. It was good to find our groove and play the footy that we know we can play, and that probably give us a little bit of confidence to keep going with it. And then some points come off the back of that, and you know, you make your own luck by working hard, and you know, we did that. Obviously, second half a little bit different. Probably went into our shell a little bit in that first stanza of it. But, yeah, like I said, you got to win, and we found a way, and now it's a decider. The boys are into me. Yeah, they're into you. Well, we've got a decider. You've had a chance to speak to a couple of your teammates. What are the keys to build on for Game 3? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we'll be able to just enjoy this, be deep in this win, and hopefully everyone back home in Queensland can enjoy it. And then there's, you know, 2 games to get after at Clubland, and then get back to work. Go and rip in, they're waiting for you. Sweet, thank you. Cheers, guys.
Harry Grant there with Alana. Copped a bit of flack after Origin 1 in Brisbane, but more than made up for it tonight as the Queensland squad heads off the pitch with their star number 9. Particularly in the first half, Lockie, tonight, Tommy Dearden was given a number 7 jersey and made the most of it in that first 40 minutes in particular.
Yeah, he just, you know, he didn't make any line breaks, but he's direct at the line. And when a lot of the things he does, this was a great kick. He got it right on the money there for Hammer. He takes the line on and he's a bit more direct. He commits the defensive line, and that's what creates the space on the outside. And this was a great play. You can see that they were short down that left. He pushed Kurt Mann across and laid on that try there, and that was going into half-time. And that's when they were really on a roll, the Maroons.
All right, let's head back down on the pitch now. Emma is with Kurt Mann.
Kurt Mann, congratulations. Your first taste of Origin footy. How would you describe that?
It was everything I expected and more. The atmosphere when you run out, it's electric. You can't really explain it till you actually get to live it. So I loved every single minute of it.
How frantic was that final 20 minutes for everyone?
Oh, very nervous couple of minutes. I don't think we could have made it any harder than we did there at the end. Thank God we got out to a pretty good start, and I think we'll learn a lot of lessons from the last 40 minutes of that game.
And for you personally, the oldest debutant since the great Arthur Beetson, what did it mean to be able to pull on the maroon jersey for you?
Very special. I thought this was long past me. Playing Origin, and it's a childhood dream I've always had. I'm no spring chicken. I'm 32 this year, so it's just a credit to the program. Ciro and Gus are all running there at the Bulldogs. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in this position.
Very, very well-deserved debut. Well done, Kurt. We'll see you in Sydney.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well done, Kurt Mann, looking right comfortable in this State of Origin arena. From Emma to Danica, alongside Brad Fittler and another Origin legend.
Yes, a very big Origin legend, Mal Meninga. He, of course, coached New South Wales for 30 Origin games.
Who did I coach?
Queensland. Did I say New South Wales? For Queensland.
Start again, James.
You would have absolutely just loved that result tonight. But I want to ask you, Billy, how would he be feeling right now? We know the pressures that comes with Origin footy.
Well, I was just watching. I was nervous. I was thinking, the second 40, obviously we didn't have much possession, Queensland. I think it nearly doubled the sets, but getting the victory, 2 points is a good victory. And going to Acor, game 3 is a great result for Queenslanders.
In the back of the mind, while the game was on, were you looking around at the crowd and watching their reaction and thinking about your next job coming up, the Perth Bears?
Yes and no, Freddie. I think this is a great stadium, obviously, and Origin's a beast. We've got a bit of work in front of us, a few challenges, obviously, with the Perth Bears, and we're really excited about that challenge. I've been travelling the streets the last 3 days. I had a bit of a chat to the Western Australian NRL as well, and there's a whole heap of excitement around the Bears being here. So just can't wait to get my feet under the table and make sure that we try to do the best we possibly can to have the best team we can here in 2 years' time.
Is that the other thing you're watching players that you liked?
Well, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? So
who would you grab? If you had to grab, give us 3 players out there tonight. If you had to grab 3 players.
Any 3 of them.
What?
Honestly, any 3 of them.
Any 3?
Any 3. Yeah. They're all great players. They all make great contributions. They all make a difference in your footy teams. That's why they play at Origin, Freddie. You know that. So, whoever's available, we'll talk to. There's no doubt. And we'll do the best we possibly can to make sure we've got a competitive team in 27.
What'd you make of Cam Munster's performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought he was man of the match. Yeah. My personal opinion, made a difference. His leadership, he just takes things on. I heard your coverage around his defensive qualities. He defended really well. His kicking game was really good. A couple of dead in goal, kicks, but all in all, I thought he led the side extremely well.
Freddie, what about on the other side of the field, Nathan Cleary? There was some concern about him. We saw him at the very beginning of the match with that sleeve on his upper leg. He wasn't kicking for goal as well. Is there concern there, do you think?
It'll be interesting. Well, they're not going to travel to New Zealand. They have the Warriors this week, Penrith. So next Thursday is his next game against Canterbury. There is a problem, without a doubt. So it's a upper thigh around the groin area. And he's the ultimate professional. So he's one of those blokes that he's kicking as much as anyone. He's running as much as everyone. He's doing everything he can. And every now and then your body just says to you, you know what, you just got to slow up a little bit here. So let's just hope that a little bit of a break for him. He'll have anything up to 4 or 5 days off at the moment. And let's see if it sort of calms down.
All right. Well, you certainly wish the best for Nathan Cleary, for especially New South Wales fans, as we head into a decider at Accor Stadium in not too far away now. Mal, thank you so much for joining us here.
My pleasure.
Good luck with Game 3 of State of Origin watching. Good luck.
Thanks very much for supporting the Perth Bears. I really appreciate it. And go the Bears!
There you go. One
He's
of
the
many,
mascot.
James.
Coach, mascot.
God bless you, Monica. You beauty, the Perth Bears coach. Big Mal down there on the pitch.